I understand most of what you said, but on the spiritual level, how can you help? Be more specific. On the spiritual level, to me, your divine path and your destiny is on the spiritual level. How do I help? I help align you with that. To me, whatever tools and stuff you need to help in the betterment of your life, that's what I help with. And if I'm not able to help you, I'm able to point you in the direction of somebody who can, because that's just how things are set up over here. But what you mean? Also the power of discernment, which is interesting because people do it all the time and they're always, people always want to run to an ability. They want to run to be able to see, feel, hear. They want to run to get the numbers in the lotto, right? But they don't realize all of the responsibility that comes with that. There's a lot of responsibility, and it's not easy. It's not easy thinking you're loony, right? It's not easy going through depression and everything else. Will I refer people to seek counseling and stuff? Absolutely, because that's not what I am here for. If there's like specific healing towards pain and stuff, I have someone I can refer you to for that too. However, when you go to file, you'll have that rectified as well. So I'll just say that. But it's not easy being in this space, and I think people think it is, and then they think it's a joke. For those of us that walk within what we do, we walk within it with confidence, because now, I mean, I spoke about this on earlier lives. Once you hit the most bottom place that you can hit in your life, there's nothing else that anybody can do to you. There's nothing else that they can say about you that you may or may not have said about yourself at first, right? So once you hit that, a lot of us who come to the forefront, or that you see being on TV and all of that other stuff, they're like doing that because they're like, how am I going to say this properly? Cuff it, because cuff it isn't my word. Unless I'm being really angry, then I'm not going to say cuff it. You're going to get it. But cuff it, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, because at a certain time, you just like, I'm too old for this shit. so, so if it's been happening this long, I know it's not me, it's you. So, so that's just what it is. That's why I'm okay with being up here on social media talking about whatever I want to talk about, because I've already hit my bottom, and my bottom was tough. So since I've done that, there's nothing nobody can do and or say that's going to mess with me now. I don't care. So, oh yes, and excuse me, I hit my light, so that's why it's shaking. Don, so that tells me that you must have been asking for someone to show you a sign. So I assume that's someone that's passed for you. Normally, when you start to see money, my mom tends to see pennies, and it's my grandmother dropping pennies down, and it's always with the head up. So is that something you've been doing lately? That's typically what happens. Someone that you want to connect with is letting you know that they're there. Apparently, that also means that when you asked for other signs, you weren't listening. So they're being drastic, and it takes a lot of energy for energies to like man, it takes a lot of energy for them to move stuff. But it seems like you were asking for something, and then you're getting the answer. You were getting it in other ways, but it wasn't working out for you. So now you're getting money. Oh, well, hi, Yvette. Wait, Yvette, were you here before? Or was that another Yvette? Let me know, and welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so if it's on the way home, then you definitely, and you are picking that up like that, you're meant to help. So I highly suggest wherever that is on the way home. And when I talk to people and I tell them not to use sage all the time, in this instance, you may need to use white sage, actually, in that area in order to help, or give them permission to leave. Because sometimes people live in a loop, and that's what happens. That's why people get stuck. That doesn't mean there is no Orun, i.e., heaven. And again, if you don't believe in God, aka Olodumare, et cetera, that's fine. Let's just talk about energy then, okay? That doesn't mean that energy does not exist on a loop. Let's talk about quantum physics. That doesn't mean that energy does not exist in an area in which you are, and energy needs to be released. And sometimes, in order to release that energy, this is why it's very important when people use their words in order to pray, use their words in order to sing, use your words in order to command attention or to protect yourself. You could do stuff in your head all day and pray in your head all day, but it's the affirmation that comes out of your word and what you do that's called an incantation. That's why reading Bible verses is so potent to people. That Psalms is one of the most powerful books of the Bible. I'll have to teach on why that is, which is so funny because it's in almost every Abrahamic religious text. There is Psalms or a version thereof, Psalms that exist. So I'll say that. That being said, to clear out energy, typically you have to speak to it. I don't know if you all watch, what is that girl with the red hair? Somebody needs to help me. She dyes her hair a lot, but there's this detective dude who's retired and he goes around looking at unsolved cases and stuff, and he uses an intuitive woman, a psychic medium, in order to do it. If y'all know what that show is, was it on A&E or Lifetime? No. Somebody knows what this show is that I'm talking about. On that, if you know, she always speaks out loud. And then things that she can't handle, she says, get a shaman, get a priest, get a et cetera, et cetera. Because there are just certain ways that people can say things in order to make things cleanse their space. Listen, every time I Linda, I'm trying not to hear that little boy every time I say listen, Linda. Dead Files. Yes. Thank you. That's the show. Okay. All right. Her. She's very her. That's why she does and says the things she's supposed to say. Linda, I know it does. However, if you're constantly being the one being shown, then that means that you're the one to help. So it's on you, boo. You got this. But it also helps bring them peace. The